If a nurse declines to do these things for her patient because it is not her business, I should say to her, nursing is not your calling. Florence Nightingale. Today is a very special day as it marks the 200th anniversary birth of Florence Nightingale, founder of nursing. Florence Nightingale was born May the 12th, 1820, in Florence, Italy. From a very young age, Florence Nightingale knew that nursing was her passion. She would take care of the sick and ill and poor in her neighborhood estate. Florence always had a feeling that nursing was her God-given calling in life and passion, which she pursued till her death. In this speech, I will commemorate Florence Nightingale for her impact on the world by establishing and paving the way for nursing as we know it today, with her life-saving policies and procedures, with an example as hand washing, something simple as that we still use today in the year 2020. Florence Nightingale was a trailblazer in the nursing profession. She greatly affected the 18th, 19th, and 20th century, and even today as we know it. Florence Nightingale was known as Lady with the Lamp because during the Crimean War, she would go check on her soldiers with only a lamp to light her way, hence Lady with the Lamp. First, let's take a look at Florence's early life. Florence Nightingale was born to a very wealthy family. She was provided an elaborate education with things such as mathematics, German, Italian, and French. Florence talked to her parents about her passion of nursing, and they disapproved greatly. In that day and age, nursing was looked down upon as a lowly, menial labor and not very appreciated. But Florence always had that passion and never let it go. Even though her family had those high expectations for Florence, she still persevered anyway. Let's take a look at how she persevered and paved the way for nursing as we know it today. According to biography.com, in 1850, she enrolled in Kaiserwerth, Germany as a nursing student. And after graduating there, she returned to London to work at St. Harley Hospital, taking care of the ailing governesses, where she did such a great job that her supervisor promoted her to superintendent, which was rare in those days. At this time, the Crimean War was going on, and she volunteered at many different places. And according to Britannica.com, she volunteered at Middlesex Hospital, where she worked in very unsanitary conditions. She implemented those policies that she learned in nursing school, something simple as hand washing and things to prevent cross-contamination. She made it her mission in life to lower and prevent things that could cause anyone any injury or sickness that we did not think of. Florence received a letter from the Secretary of War asking her to organize a corps of nurses to take with her to war to go aid the soldiers. She gathered 36 nurses and later set sail with them to Crimea just a few days later. Nothing could have prepared Florence what she was about to see. Nursing school could not have prepared her for that. When she arrived, she was presented a large cesspool of dying patients and disease that contaminated the building and water supply so much that water had to be rationed. When Florence arrived, she implemented her policies that she learned in nursing school. She did not have basic supplies such as bandages, cleaning supplies, sterile things to take care of these people. So Florence procured anyway. Hundreds of scrub brushes, and she, nurses, and patients who were the least sick would clean the hospital top to bottom and clean the soldiers. More soldiers were dying from preventable infections than the battle of war alone. In the evenings, she would carry her lamp to check on her soldiers to see how they were doing. Lady with the lamp at night. War subsided in 1856 and she returned home. She unknowingly was welcomed with the hero salute. Queen Victoria herself presented Florence with a brooch estimated up to $250,000 for her great service and work. Florence was also presented with a great large sum of money from Queen Victoria, which she used to further her passion of nursing. She opened St. Thomas Hospital, and within it, opened Florence Nightingale School of Nursing so that she can train and prepare nurses to go out into the field. Thanks to her, nursing is no longer frowned upon as lowly menial labor. It is viewed as a very honorable profession, still in high demand today in 2020, 200 years later. Even today in the year 2020, nurses are still in high demand, thanks to her policies such as hand washing and preventing cross contamination. We're able to easily prevent diseases that kill patients that killed them in 1820. Florence Nightingale is an inspiration to all of us. Overall, she has greatly impacted the world by revolutionizing the way that nursing is done and prepare of nursing. When students are in nursing school today, the first thing they learn about is Florence Nightingale and her impact on the world that she had, even in the 18th century. Things that she considered to be common sense to some were not to all. Hand washing is the number one thing in the world today that prevents diseases that are easily spread from one to another. And with her, we are able to do that.